G'day fellow moto vlogger, the Van and Ev on Ruby the Suzuki Bandit. And g'day to all my YouTube watchers. Well, as you might have guessed if you follow the channel, yesterday week I decided to take the carbies off and give them a strip and clean, and I done it over a week, which was including Easter, which I went away for, of course, for 2 days. Was it easy getting them off? Not particularly. I don't know why, but where the throttle is on the carbies, it's in an extremely awkward position to get the cables off. The throttle on cable is the hardest, and I had to ring a friend up for help on that particular occasion, because I could still be there trying to get it myself. Very, very difficult. Once that was off and the carbies are out, that's not a problem. The easy part is stripping and cleaning them. It's not hard at all. So on the Good Friday I took them out, and I also took the manifold boots off, rubber boots I'll call them. Hopefully you understand what I mean. That's where the carbies attached to. They're attached to the engine to let fuel in. Was that difficult? Extremely difficult. Why? Because I didn't have one particular extension bar on my 1/4 inch drive that was short enough. And of course, being Good Friday, I couldn't go out and get another one, so I compromised and I used what I could. Different hex heads, etc. At one stage, one of the bolts, I had to take my longest 1/4 inch extension and go through the airbox, because you've got to undo the airbox, of course, to take the carbies off and out. And I got to it that way, through the airbox. But anyway, after about an hour I got them off, and I had a quick look at them. I couldn't see anything wrong with them. They seemed to be okay to me, but some of the process that I wanted to do was to replace them, because I bought them a fair while ago when I had another problem, thinking it was something like that was causing it, but it wasn't. So that was the end of Good Friday. I'd had enough by then. It took me a lot longer than what it would a person that, well, has done it a few times. I've only done it, well, that's the second time, and I still needed help getting the throttle cable out, or off the carby bodies, or the cable off the throttle, and but luckily I got a friend for that, so I can call on him. I help him out, he helps me out. And I'd had enough. So Easter Saturday I went up to Renmark, and Easter Sunday I spent with my grandkids and daughter and all that sort of thing. Easter Sunday was my youngest granddaughter's 14th birthday. So I enjoyed that. I come back Monday morning. I absolutely hated being in the motel, because the walls were that thin you could hear what was going on. You could even hear a light switch being turned on. I did not enjoy that at all. And someone in some big old, I don't know, pickup truck, I suppose you could say. It's not a ute, it's a pickup truck, was parked right in front of my door, so I couldn't even park near my door. And they started it up about 5 o'clock in the morning, so that woke me up. And again at 7 o'clock there's racing around and all that sort of thing on the Sunday, so didn't get a great night's sleep. On the Monday, again he was parked in front of my door, and at 5 o'clock they were up and starting this old pickup that sounded like a clapped out truck, and that was at 5 o'clock in the morning. And again at 6:45 there was a bit more noise that woke me up, and I said, bugger this, I'm getting out and I'm going home. I was going home on the Monday anyway, so I left about 7:05. Now normally Easter Monday's a very, very, very busy day, but gee, I had a good run home. Very good run. Maybe it was the time that I decided to come home that was good, so I made a good decision there, folks. Overall I enjoyed the weekend, but I hated the motel and the price, even though it was one of the cheaper ones around, being on No Start, which is my name for New Start now, No Start, which is the unemployment benefits or whatever, and I'm sort of on a sickness benefit, so to speak. I can't afford much. Anyway, I gets home on the Monday, and I'd put the rest of that day aside to put my new manifolds on. Now, I'd already bought the 75, is it millimetre or centimetre? I don't know. Anyway, it was a shorter one than my shortest 1/4-inch drive, and it was perfect for the job, and it made it so much easier to put them on. They went back on in about an hour, so I was very happy with that. So Easter Monday was put aside just to put the rubber boots back on and do a bit of general cleaning of the carbies on the outside, and cleaning a bit of the muck out the airbox, and a bit of muck off the motor and all that sort of thing. And I noticed one of my little bolts up the top on my rocker cover was leaking a bit, so I undid that one and put a little bit of this red stuff. It's a Loctite product, and it's like it's red, dark red colour, and it's like a well, it helps from rubber to metal to seal and stop leaking. It's really good stuff. I don't know if it's 501 or what. I just can't remember the number of it, but it's brilliant, brilliant. Anyway, I did that. Then Tuesday I took the carbs into the shop I frequent, and did a strip and clean. Took them all apart, even took the diaphragms out and checked them over. Everything looked pretty good. It was fairly clean, but I cleaned it anyway, just in case. Took all the the jets out and cleaned them, the idle jet and the main jet and everything in between, and took out the air mixture screw, whatever you call it, gave that a clean as well, and all that sort of thing. So that was that, and I put them back together, and what did that take me? About 2 hours, I think, around about the 2 hour mark, because I'm not an expert and I'm not quick. So I wrapped them up and took them home, and decided to wait till Friday to put them back in, because I knew I'd need help, and it turned out I did. Again, the throttle cable was the main problem. I could have done everything myself if it wasn't for that, the on throttle cable. It's just in a shocking place, and the way that my friend got around it is he had the the carbies 3/4 out, and so if you ever come across it on one of these, you take the carbies out from the right hand side and you put them back in from the right hand side. It makes the job a lot easier. Anyway, we with a bit of faffing about, as Steve says, and that, got them back in and pushed them on the manifolds, and then put the I think I should have gone down there. Put the airbox back on, and screwed everything up tightly and made sure everything was okay. And about, I don't know, a couple of years ago I bought this auxiliary fuel. Just hang on, I'll get around here. I bought this auxiliary fuel, so when my tank's off I can start the bike up without the fuel tank being connected. And it holds about, well, half a litre. I got it from India. It took forever to get here again. So I'd had fuel in that, and I hooked it up and opened the tap up, and she went down to about, I don't know, she went down a fair way, nearly to the nearly took the whole canister of fuel to fill the carbies up, and waited a minute to make sure it wasn't overflowing or flooding or anything like that, so that was lucky. And gave her a crank over, and over she went and started and ran, and well, as you can see, it's running now. So I must have done something right, folks. So all there is to do now is to wait and see if that issue that I had before I did all this raises its head again, and then I'll look somewhere else. So I apologise for the long video, and I've got another apology to make as well. On one of my rides home one day, there was this chap on a cruiser, and he waved to me, and I waved back, and I thought, gee, that's strange, a cruiser waving to me. Anyway, then I went back down the hill, and the cruiser was I did like a loop around, and I went back down Medlow Road, and back down the bottom of the hill the cruiser was there again, and he waved, and I waved back from memory. Now, I didn't know this, but it was actually one of my subscribers, followers, called Cruisin' Joe. and he said, oh, I waved to you but you didn't stop, and I thought, oh well, maybe you didn't want to. And I wrote back to him and said, no, look, if I'd have known it was you, I would have stopped in an instant. But it just didn't tweak to me at the time it was you. It was Cruising Joe. So I want to profusely apologise to Joe that I missed who it was and didn't stop to have a chat. So Cruising Joe, I apologise profusely, and if I see you again I think I'll tweak to who it is, and hopefully we can have a chat. So Bandit Nev on Ruby the Suzuki Bandit, bidding you all very, 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 very safe riding, and until next time, cheers for now.